Hi, hi, hi. This is Beebee. I'm here with my dog Ruby. This is Scrambled Sid City. I really am enjoying there's these transition pages where it's kind of like a comic book of the character that you're pursuing. And this one is Frequency, and you can see the outline of Sid in her goggles, which is really just a neat detail. We got bees on the wall. Your apartment is a mess. How do you have 3 trash bags at the door? I'm not gonna shame because I have depression and I know how things can get, but girl, come on. Another morning, another sense of great accomplishment, doing great heroic stuff and making an impression. And ow. Yeah, nothing more heroic than rolling out of bed. All my combat role training is finally paying off. One time, my poor puppy, she rolled out of bed. We weren't very high up, but she screamed like she had been murdered. She was so startled. I felt so bad for her. She's fine. Honestly, my heroic activities this month have been me... What? Have been me frustrated. Hold on. Honestly, my heroic activities this month have been me frustrated. I don't know what that means. I still have no idea who Enchantress is, or why Frequency showed up, or actually who is Frequency. I mean, she was definitely a big deal, like, before I was born. I remember seeing her name around a few places when I was growing up because she did some stuff with missile crises. Crises? It's crises. Whatever. I feel like it should have been, should have had Russians involved. Maybe it was too late for that, but it definitely was too late for that. But she was definitely the kind of hero who was, as far as I know, a big-ish deal. Let's see. Sorry, Ruby's right in my way when I'm trying to get comfortable here. So I don't know why she stuck her head into my little showdown there. Unless I'm getting involved in something way bigger than I thought, which is scary but neat. Pretty sure I've got the big hero energy to handle it if I knew what to do. See, I've been thinking about this a lot the last few days and kind of not getting anywhere because I don't really have a lot to go off of. Tried bringing it up in conversation with friends, but they all just looked at me weird. Plus, she's kind of before my time to start with, and she seems kind of good at hiding her tracks. Even Googling her only really gets up articles vaguely analyzing her achievements, which is why I'm not entirely sure if Russians were involved with the missiles. There were definitely missiles, and she stopped them, though. You'd think if she'd been around this long, she'd have let something slip, right? Some kind of secret identity lapse. I mean, I know I would. In fact, I'm pretty sure if someone got a picture of me and searched for dumbass butch gay hero in Saffron City right now, they'd not have to do a lot of detective work. The most accurate, although with that winged eyeliner it throws it into doubt. Though I guess maybe the mask hides my gay deep. It does not. Unfortunately, I don't think I can get time off work for old cyberpunk mommy research, so well, whatever. Maybe if I keep on apprehending criminals and then screwing it up, she'll show up again? Sweet, I can do that much. I have such faith in you, baby girl. Of course we're a barista, because this is a dating sim. Yeah, it's kind of scary and stuff, right? That people can teleport or whatever. Sure is, says the customer. Haha, I hope I haven't ruined your drink. Another dead-end conversation. Right, that's your coffee. Thanks a bunch. The guy nods, takes his coffee, goes. I recognize his face, I think. One of the things I've tried to start doing when I went for this whole hero thing was get better at facial recognition. This is such bullshit. She's exactly like me. She just makes shit up on the spot. She's so mistaken. It's definitely something that should come in handy, right? I mean, my memory is not exactly photographic, but this way, if I see a cute blonde with really long legs, then hitting on her is totally justified for heroic detective-y reasons. Never know who could be Enchantress. Frequency, though. It's hard. Maybe I'm too hung up on the weirdo goggles. Oh, or maybe they emit a weird light that fucks with your brain, so you can't tell who she is. Maybe they're just a good disguise? Maybe I'm stupid. Oh, Sid! It's a slow day at work. Hold on, we gotta back up. Look at her poor face. Okay, it's a slow day at work, which is kind of a good thing. No one else is really here except for regulars and people who aren't, but look like they frequent coffee shops. They respect the mood. I've tried taking advantage of quiet days like this, trying to chat with customers a little. See if they know anything more about Frequency, or hell, maybe Enchantress. It doesn't really get me anywhere. Frequency's name seems to get a few. Oh yeah, her. She was meant to be really smart from slightly older people. And Enchantress mostly has people my age being like wild, right? Someone mentioned stuff about stuff she did before this, so I guess other people are more in the know than me. It's not really getting me anywhere, though. Hearing that both of them were in other teams once doesn't tell me anything if I can't find out much about when they were in that team. Maybe it'd be easier looking for Enchantress, but I've made my choice now. Gotta stick with it forever until the bitter end. Too late to change. No save states for me, theoretically. I get a couple minutes of fiddling with my phone below the counter before anyone else comes in, which I try to use for a bit of extra research, but no luck. The allure of Twitter is too strong, for one thing. Maybe if I'm horny on main for Enchantress, she'll DM me and boom, instant lead. You're just making excuses. Any thieves out there want to cast a spell on me? Too much? Luckily, the next customer comes along to stop me from embarrassing myself to all 98 of my followers. Still more followers than I have. Good morning. This is obviously her, yes? Yes, obviously. However, if you think that Sid will recognize her, you have not figured out yet who Sid is. This customer is another one of those kind of regulars, in that I've seen her around a couple times. It helps that she's distinct, pretty tall, kind of dark skin, interesting dress sense. Like a librarian, but sexy, but not a sexy librarian. Frumpy, but slightly zatty. I fucking hate it. It's not bad. In a way, makes her seem like she knows her way around life. She's not enough of a frequent customer for me to know what her favorite blend is, but I can tell it's something that's going to take at least a tiny bit of effort. Whoa! I accidentally right-clicked is what happened. Hey there, what can I get you? A cortado. I have no idea if I'm saying this right. I'm not a coffee drinker. You're a chef? You're a chef blend, if you've got that. Sure do. I didn't know there was different kinds of beans. Pretty much exactly what I expected, and I grabbed one of the small cute cups for her, fiddling around for one of the smaller pens to write on it. It's not that necessary when there's not a cue, but force of habit, and there's other benefits. Your name? Karen. That's such a disappointing name. That's so disappointing. She has the voice of a coffee drinker too, like all those hot drinks have scalded her throat and made it a little bit more deep and raspy than the average person. I don't think coffee actually does that though. It does not. Then again, she doesn't smell like a smoker. That with a C or a K? K. Is this really necessary? She doesn't sound... Oh, that was Sid that said it, but it was Karen. Quote-unquote Karen. She doesn't sound grumpy when she says that though. More just confused. Is this throwing her off? Sid says, I've already started writing it now. Karen says, see through what you started, eh? Admirable. I know. Oh, wait, you know it. All right. Yerga Chefe. It's not the hardest taste, but it's a real kind of coffee geek choice. Again, it suits the gay librarian look. Is it a gay librarian look if you don't have glasses? This is a legitimate question. Please submit your answers. I have to squat down a bit to find the drawer where the beans are, and I notice she's totally watching me. It could just be out of curiosity, but she's got a pretty intense stare to her. Probably shouldn't let her notice I've noticed, though. I get up, start messing around with the grinder, and wait for a few seconds. I don't want to start asking her questions without any build-up. See, the added bonus of writing the names on the cups is you get to figure out what they're called. Zero-effort detective work. Hey, Karen. No one else in the queue, so a good time to ask is any. I do have to raise my voice a little above the whir of the grinder, though. She says, People say a lot in this game, so I'm going to have to just get into the habit of saying which is not in my vocab. She looks surprised to be asked a question. Her thin brows furrow and her eyes look a little distant. For a second, man, maybe I'm the one ruining the patron's peace and quiet. I apologize. Sorry, haha, it's just taking a while to get the beans all, grinded. I tapped the machine to emphasize the difficulty in grinding those beans. She doesn't seem too empathetic. Oh no, go on, she says. Her face isn't looking any more interested or less concerned, but I do as she says. Sid says, stay with me here. What do you think of, like, superheroes and superpowers, and their place in society and stuff? She seems old enough that she lived through a few, ages of them. She probably knows frequency, maybe, if she pays attention to that whole thing. That's a hell of a question for the first thing in the morning, she says. We say, hey, it's part of the service here. Coffee to wake up your body, intelligent discussion to wake up your mind. She's so full of shit, just blatantly full of shit. Karen says, it's also 11:15, so not exactly first thing. Maybe she's retired already? She's not that old. She's clearly not that old. Doesn't look like she slept too well, though. She's like maybe in like at her max at like her early 50s. Max. Kind of tempted to tap the bean machine again to make sure she knows her coffee is going to eventually come, just to see if it lightens the mood. It's an interesting one, at least, if maybe a little too broad. There's a lot to dig into for just one bean grinding session. I can narrow it down if you want, we say. Hey, she seems actually interested, though. That's a plus. How about Frequency? You heard of her? Karen says, who hasn't? Right? I hear she's been showing up again lately. Been a while, right? Karen says, the thing about powers is it's hard to judge who should have them and who shouldn't. In an ideal world, we'd have some kind of way to decide who'd be worthy, who we could trust. But we don't, so, well, making value judgments isn't for the faint-hearted. It's nice to think that good will eventually win out, right? Justice will take its course, and so on. Sure you need coffee with all that woke you already got, lady? Okay, you asked her for an intelligent discussion. This is your fault. Karen says, do unto others, greatness is the perception that virtue is enough, blah, blah, blah. You've probably heard all that from other customers you asked, right? Sid says, sure, bored of it now. It's an interesting take, but not exactly helpful. Sounds like she's thought about it a lot. What about you, she says. Me, play it cool so this random lady won't figure you out, Sid. Responsibility is important. I mean, I like to think I'm a good person, yeah? So that if I did get some powers, I'd do the right sort of thing, mostly, haha. We're all human, you know? Very true, Karen says. What would you want if you could have it, though? Like power-wise? Exactly. Let's see, how about... Now, I'm gonna choose the options. It's actually kind of hard to get the good ending. So I'm just gonna choose the options that I picked to get the good ending when I actually had to like kind of cheat a little bit to figure it out. So we're just gonna be honest, like up front, who cares? Invisibility. Invisibility'd be cool, right? I mean, it's true, and see, it's distinct from my real power, because I didn't say camouflage, mind games. Plus, if I play my cards right, I can totally try and work some self-promos into here, right? Doesn't that seem a little criminal? Karen says. What? No, come on. It lets me be, it would let me be selfless and stuff. I could save lives and cats and trees, and no one has to know it's me. And have you heard of this one new hero? She's up and coming. Her name's Scrambled, I think. Anyway, she's got really cool invisibility stuff going on. Karen seems nonplussed at this so far, but Sid continues. Really cool. She looks awesome, too. Real fresh fit. Karen says, an invisible superhero, but everyone knows her name and her appearance. Well, not everyone. God, I wish everyone. Karen says, do you think maybe she's not very good with her powers? Sid says, I just think the gig economy is hard for a young superhero. She's got to do her own marketing. I wish her the best of luck. She sounds really, really genuine, and I don't know if I like the sheer level of pity I'm getting right now. The beans seem pretty well grounded at this point, though, thankfully, so I turn my attention to that. In fact, they're real fine. I lost myself in our chat. But the weirdness of the conversation and the slight feeling I get that she's looking down on me aside, Karen is the kind of customer I like, I guess. Mildly judgmental conversation, better than mostly just awkwardly standing there in silence, fiddling with her phone while I get her coffee. Does this make me an extrovert masochist? Okay. Preference on milk? Full fat. Fuck yeah, Karen. Slender moms get to do what they want. You go, Karen. Fat moms can do what they want, too. By the time I pass over her coffee to her and ask her for her money, she's got exact change ready, too. She looks very ready for it, but still gives me a little smile and a nod anyway. Thanks, Sid. No problem, Karen. Hope you enjoy. Hoping something from her ends up in the tip jar. Hoping something from her ends up in the chip jar. Good God. Hold on. Hoping something from her ends up in the tip jar before my shift's over, too. But until then, hot magicians looking for assistance. You can throw your knife at me, winky face. Look, I'm one of the good guys. Entrapment isn't meant to be my forte. All right, we'll pick up again in the next episode. Bye.